This is All-Star Tower Defense, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the best build for every single 5-star in the game, how the skill tree works, how to find it, how to grind skill orbs 1 and 2. I even have a tier list for you guys. I'm going to link that in the description so you can refer to it. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So before we actually jump into the part of the video where I'm going to look at all the recommended and all the meta builds for all the units or whatever, if you do not know how to get to your skill tree, first of all, no, you do not need to be level 18. I'm going to show you how. Go to your units, click on whichever one you want, click the 3 dots, and click this little star. This is going to take you to your skill tree, scroll out or zoom out with your mouse button, whatever. And this at the top shows you which path you're on. This is damage. This is range, this is SPA. They all have their different abilities and whatnot. But once you pick one, that's the only one you're going to be able to pick until the next update when a skill tree reset item comes. Alrighty, now let's go over the abilities and the paths so you have a better understanding of why certain builds have certain abilities. Let's start with speed. First, we have additional. Arguably the best hidden potential ability in the game. 10% chance to attack again in rapid succession for 100% of a unit's damage. So say your Ishtar does her little, AoE giant nuke attack. She could instantly attack again for 100% of the unit's damage. And just keep going. Like, there's no cap to this. So technically, if you were lucky enough, you could just have like attack after attack after attack after attack with no breaks because of the additional ability. Next, we have dodge. This, I'd say, would only ever really be put on like Blackbeard. It's not really used for much else. Maybe a buff unit, but there is surely better hidden potential abilities. Next, we have employment. You'll see this on, honestly, most units, or most of their meta skill tree builds. 20% chance to earn everyone double income when this unit gets a kill. Next we have element resist. I don't really think you should ever put this on anything, especially over employment or additional. Those two they just blow all of the other traits out of the water, really, unless you have a support unit. Now this path gives you 5% damage, 5% range, and minus 10% SPA. I'm never calling it SPD, bro. I mean, how do I tell you? Now let's move on to the range path. First, we have Surge. 10% chance to gain plus 10 range for 60 seconds after every 10 kills. This definitely isn't the best hidden potential ability for range. I wouldn't say it's the worst. 15% chance to deal true damage ignoring enemy typing. Honestly, I'd say this is the worst. Next, we have Ricochet and Overload. These two are the best. If you're taking the range path, you should be going here. 10% chance to ricochet 40% of the attack's damage to another enemy in range. That's pretty goated if you ask me. And we have Overload. Now, if you are interested on the best skill tree for Darkling, which is probably why some of you are here, this is brought up very commonly. And honestly, I don't know which one I'd rather prefer, Overload or Additional, but those two are for sure in the ballpark. Let's move on to damage. Let's see what damage has to offer. Damage is used for most skill tree infinite builds, if you're trying to go leaderboard or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. I personally think speed is better. I think SPA is just the best all around. You can debate me, but let's get into it. We have critical, giving you a 10% chance for attacks to deal 2 times damage. We have marker, 10% chance to mark enemies. Marked enemies take 30% more damage for 5 seconds. Element boost, I think this is the worst one out of them all. Increases damage dealt to enemies this unit's element is strong against by 10. And disruption. Disruption is definitely useful for Trial 1. I've heard there's some nasty shielded enemies in there, but I don't think I'd use it for anything else. I'll give you a second to look at the buffs. But that is every ability, and that's every path. Alright, now we can actually get into the builds. Alright, before I start showing off the builds, I'm going to quickly explain the format that these are put into. It goes unit, trait, path, abilities. Same thing on this side. This one is specifically for infinite. This is overall progression. Let's scroll through slowly. If you need to pause, if it'll help you, go right ahead. We're going to go back up. I also want to point out, this is what I meant by this will only ever be used on supports to buff units. This is really the only hidden potential ability you'll want to put on them. One more thing I want to point out. Companion will always be on Blackbeard if you can get it. Just lets you place one more, meaning more slows. That is all for the builds. That was pretty quick, right? Pretty simple. I'm sure you understand what all this means because I just explained it to you. If you need to go back and look at what all these abilities do, you are free. Alright, so first of all, you're going to go to challenges because this is the only way to grind skill orbs. Hop in here, press E. Now, as you can see at the top, this will always be green or orange. I've literally never seen it swap to any other skill orbs. Don't do it on expert. You can, but I personally don't. It's just easier to farm on hard. Now, if you need anything that isn't green or orange, which I'm pretty sure there's like 3 or 4 other colors, you're going to do these. They'll give you skill orb 1 pure and skill orb 2 pure. And you can craft those into any color you want. I'd recommend grinding the hell out of this because it's just so expensive to max out these skill trees. Don't do it on expert, by the way, because it'll only give you 2s. It won't give you 1s, and you need much more 1s than 2s. Anyways, that is everything. I wish I'd add more ways, but that's it.